Shalom, family. I would like to wish all of you Ashar, Feast of Tabernacles. For us, we're entering into day 6 of this great feast. The soul food topic on tonight will be a continuation of yesterday's study, which is entitled Traits of Esau, Process of Elimination. Okay, so when it comes to Esau, the children of Esau, the Edomites, there have been, some conflict or debate as to who are the Edomites. Some say it's the so-called white man. Some say it's the Arabs. They believe that they believe the so-called white man, the Caucasian, derives from the children of Japheth. Okay, but we're going to delve into the scripture. We're going to bring out a bevy of passages from both the Old Testament, New Testament, the book of Yasher, and the book of Jubilees, talking about the character of Esau, the history of the Edomites, their traits, their characteristics, all these different things, their attributes, and it's up to you to determine who the Edomites are. Are they the white men? Are they the Arabs? It's for you to decide, okay? So we're just going to bring it out, all right? So we dealt with Esau's birth, okay, and how as he aged, he was described as being pretty much a warmonger. He was a fierce man, a man of violence, okay? He was an expert hunter, a deceiving, cunning, designing man, okay, who did not learn to read and write, who refused to go into the house of Shem and Eber to learn the commandments of the Most High, okay? He despised the counsel and commandments of his parents. He left them destitute. He was disobedient to them, and he even sought to slay his brother. He was just a wicked son all the way around. And his own parents understood his end, and that him and his seed would be rooted out from under heaven. He is a cursed seed, as we read in the book of Jubilees. Esau is a cursed seed. But we're going to go on and bring out many more scriptures that speak about Esau. And again, it's up to you, through process of elimination, to make the determination as who the modern day Edomites are. They're not extinct, as some Christian theologians would claim. The Edomites are alive and well. And it is important for us, it is imperative that we discover and understand who the Edomites are and how they relate to end-time prophecy. Okay? So we're going to go to the scripture. And we're going to go to Genesis chapter 27, verses 37 through 40, and I will read that. I have a lot of scriptures, so we're not going to finish. It may take 3 or 4 parts to finish this entire Bible study, but we'll get as far as we can. So Genesis chapter 27, verses 37 through 40. And it reads, And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. So Isaac is declaring to Esau the consequence of the blessing that he declared to his youngest son, Jacob, and what that unfortunately meant for Esau. You were out in the field, and through the cunning of Rebekah to instruct her son, Jacob, to deceive their father, which as Yasher, I don't know if I'll bring that out, but I know I brought it out in one of the past Bible studies, and how that was the will of the Most High that Rebekah and Jacob would perform this plan. That even Abraham advised Rebekah, please, you got to do this to make sure the blessing and the great lot in the estate falls on Jacob and not Esau. This was the will of the Most High. The fact that Isaac was disoriented and confused and could not discern his own son, that was the will of the Most High. It was the angel of Yahweh that caused Isaac not to be able to discern the voice and character of Jacob, juxtaposed to his son Esau. Okay? But Isaac is explaining to his eldest son the consequence. Look, unfortunately, he got the blessing. I can't revoke it. I can't change it. This is your fate. Okay? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? I've given him the chief inheritance. What is left? I'm sorry, there's nothing left to give you. Okay? But Isaac is still a righteous father because he still gave Esau a blessing. We're going to keep reading. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. So the blessing that he gave to Esau was similar to that of Jacob, and that, at least that which he would receive at his hand, the blessing he would have. But the manner in which he would receive it would be vastly different from Jacob's. 40. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So, is it Jubilees? I believe it was Jubilees, maybe 28, or forget what it was, 29, that talked about how Esau was a fierce man, a man of violence. Everything he did was with fierceness. Okay? He was an expert man. He was a man of the field. He stayed out in the field. He was a man of violence. So when Isaac declares these things, it's not some outlandish, far-fetched declaration of his son. It's something that's well within his character. Son, it's well known you're a hunter. You're a violent, harsh, cruel, tyrannical person. You wild like that, son. And that's how you and your children will be from now until forever. Y'all wild and do whatever comes to mind. Y'all are instinctual people, not spiritual and righteous and upright people. Instinct. Whatever base thought you have, even as Rebecca has talked about yesterday in the scripture Jubilees. You know that your son, our son, Esau, has had perverse thoughts even from his youth. So whatever comes to his mind, Esau and the children of Edom are just going to do that. They're going to just react. Instinctual, like an animal, like a brute beast. Instinct. Animals don't reason. Animals don't stop and hold up. Let me think about the consequence. Animals don't do that. They just instinctually act. Think about the squirrels, right? When they're in the street, any human being, if they're in the street, they see a huge car coming, they're going to run out of the street. Sometimes the squirrels will go back, dart back and forth, like they don't know what to do. Because they don't have the power of reason. Or I'll say they have a little reason, but not the full understanding as a human does. Huh?
I think they learn it through
experience. But they don't have those same capabilities the way a human does. Okay? 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. I was only supposed to read the 40. Well, that's I read the 41. Okay, so after that, now we're going to go to Job chapter 30, verses 1 through 8.
Job?
The book of Job. So like in chapter 30, verses 1 through 8. Again, traits of Esau, process of elimination. It's up to you to determine, based off of all of these scriptures, who is Esau? Who is he? Okay? Verses 1 through 8 of chapter 30 in Job. But now, they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to set with the dogs of my flock. So Job, who dwelt in the land of Uz, I believe it is, which is in the same region where Mount Seir is, he says that because of the trials of the Most High that have come upon him, he said, those that are younger than me, that I held in low esteem, now because I've fallen into such a low state, they hold me in derision. They're mocking me. They're calling me names. He goes on to describe whose father, meaning these younger people, their fathers, their genealogy, their forefathers, I would have disdained to set with the dogs of my flock, meaning their fathers were less than dogs. I wouldn't even have my pure breed dog, canine, dwell with these mongrels. Their fathers were worse than a dog. They were brute beasts. They were swamp monsters. I wouldn't even have these men with my dogs. But I've fallen so low now that these men can stand up and count me as nothing. 2. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, and whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste. Now this is speaking about the history of Esau. 4. Who cut up mellows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. Think about the account in the Gospels when Yahushua came into the shore, and the lunatic, the maniac, who's up in the caves, right? Cutting himself, filled with the legion of demons, howling at the moon, running back and forth, harming himself and harming others. This was the manner of these men, this civilization of men who were driven from among men, likened unto Nebuchadnezzar when he dwelt in the wilderness. It was like a beast of the field, naked, hairy, and his fingernails grew out. These inhabitants of Mount Seir. Okay? Verse 6. To dwell in the cliffs of the valley, in caves of the earth, and in rocks. 7. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. 8. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. These men were worthless, spittle, dung, garbage, trash, despicable, deplorable, grotesque, repugnant. These men were worthless in the sight of the Most High, in the sight of all men, in the sight of Job. Now Job has fallen to such a state that these men feel like they're princes, noblemen, and they can look down on Job. It's like, Father, you brought me to a real low state. That these inhabitants of Seir are looking at me like I'm nothing, when they're not even full human almost. They're cavemen. They're the Geico cavemen looking at me like I'm nothing. Okay? Viler than the earth. Let's see. Can you grab me Book of Yasher, chapter 90? Yasher chapter 90, verses 1, and then 7 through 11.
Okay. Yasher 90 and 1. At that time, in the 5th year, after the children of Israel had passed over Jordan, after the children of Israel had rested from their war with the Canaanites, at that time, great and severe battles arose between Edom and the children of Shittim. And the children of Shittim fought against Edom.
So, like, what verse was that you just read?
1.
That was all 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, again, there's debate as to who the children of Esau are. Many believe the so-called white man. Others say the Arabs. And they ascribe the white man as being the children of Japheth. Okay? But as you read here in the book of Yasher, chapter 90, it gives an explanation as to how the children of Esau and the children of Japheth came together. All right? Now, the children of Chittim are Japhetic people. They are the Isles of the Gentiles, if you will. Which I believe they are connected with Cyprus, I want to say. I'm not 100% sure. But go on to read that.
The verse again.
Yeah, read it again and then 7 through 11.
At that time, in the 5th year, after the children of Israel had passed over Jordan.
So, like, real quick, and this lets you know that after they passed in Jordan, so this is sometimes still in the wilderness, that these events happened, which would change the course of history for the children of Esau. Go on.
After the children of Israel had rested from their war with the Canaanites, at that time great and severe battles arose between Edom and the children of Chittim. And the children of Chittim fought against Edom. Verse 7. And the children of Chittim continued their pursuit of Edom, and they smote them with a great slaughter, and Edom became subject to the children of Chittim. And the children of Chittim ruled over Edom, and Edom became under the hand of the children of Chittim, and became one kingdom from that day.
So at this point, after the war between the children of Chittim and the children of Esau, they became one people. Now many will say, well, because of that, the children of Esau are no longer Esau. Now they're Japheth. Now they're Chittim. But the thing is, as much as the children of Chittim had subjugated the children of Esau and they became one people, the Most High regards this hybrid as still Esau. He does not regard them as Japheth. Japheth has been in some ways absorbed into Esau, not the other way around.
Which is why the scripture that you say all the time.
What, in Genesis? Let me see if I can grab that real quick.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
That rice is cold.
Bear with me. I'm trying to find this real quick. Genesis chapter 9. And I'll start with verse 26. And he said, Noah that is, blessed be Yahweh God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. 27. God shall enlarge Japheth, right? And he shall dwell in the tents of Shem. This was prophetic. Well before the great wars between the Shemitic Edomites and the Japhetic Shittites. Okay? Before these wars began, it was already declared in the time of Noah that Japheth would be enlarged and he would dwell in the tents of Shem. If Japheth dwells in the tents of Shem, is Japheth the superior race? No, Shem would be. So as much as the Most High looks at it, this isn't the children of Shittim or the Japheth. This is still Esau. He was subjugated. He was brought low. But Esau's character, history, bloodline overpowered the children of Chittim. And as much as the Most High regards it, they are the children of Esau, not Chittim anymore. They are one people and they are Esau. Okay? Let's keep reading that. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years, and all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Okay? So Japheth would dwell in the tents of Shem. So that means Japheth would be subject to Shem.
Which is Esau.
Which is Esau. But then even ultimately, Esau will be subject to Israel.
Which is still Shem.
Which is based off of what Isaac declared in the book of Genesis. Okay?
All right, now.
Did you read 7 through 11?
No, I read 8, 7 and 8.
Okay, keep going.
I need to read 9. And from that time, they could no more lift up their heads, and their kingdom became one with the children of Chittim. Verse 10. And Abianus placed officers in Edom, and all the children of Edom became subject and tributary to Abianus, and Abianus turned back to his own land, Chittim. Verse 11. And when he returned, he renewed his government and built for himself a spacious and fortified palace for a royal residence, and reigned securely over the children of Chittim and over Edom.
Okay. Now, what you have to keep in mind is, although at this time, this king of Chittim ruled over Esau, and they were tributary to the Chittimites, the Japhetic people, right? The blessing of Isaac, Esau's father, is that you shall, of the dew of heaven, you shall have, the earth as the dew of heaven by the sword and by violence. And that you shall break the yoke of your brother that is upon your neck. Okay, you shall no longer be under his rule. You shall break free of that. So if Esau can break free of Israel's dominance, then it begs the reason that Esau had the power in the time to come to break away from Japheth's dominance and rule over them. As Esau came into power, connected with the children of Chittim or Kittim or the Romans, and took over and invaded different nations and different nationalities to reign and to rule and to be kings and to be lords and to have dominion over the nations of the earth. Okay? All right, from there I'm going to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, and read verses 7 through 18.
Do you want me to go there?
No, I got it. 7 to 18. Verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Taman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. Okay, so this is the Most High speaking to the prophet Jeremiah and saying, look, I'm about to visit Esau and repay him for all the crap he done did. Okay? Verse 9. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. 10. But I made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. Now, here in verse 9, it says, if grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they shall destroy till they have enough. So, if you read this here in Jeremiah and you correlate it to the book of Obadiah, you see that same phrase is used. That same parable is used in the book of Jeremiah and the book of Obadiah concerning Esau, saying if grape gather. So the Most High is asking a question. Look, if thieves come and steal, do they steal everything in the house? Nah. What do they usually do? I guess steal just what they want or steal what they can real quick. Yeah, right? But Esau is so wicked, he steals everything in the house. He don't leave nothing left. So now I'm going to pay you back the same way you paid others and paid my people. You don't just take the most expensive thing. Oh man, we only got 10 minutes. Let's steal the most expensive thing and leave out. Make some quick cash and get out of it. No, Esau takes his time and steals every little thing so that there's no wealth left. Even the grape gatherers don't steal it all off the bushes. They leave just a little bit. Don't the thieves even take just enough? But Esau is greedy, so the Most High is going to repay him for his greed. Okay. Let's see here. We're going to go down to... Where were we at? Verse 11. Leave thy fatherless children. I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. For thus saith Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes.
14, I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to battle. Now, really listen to what the prophet is saying here. The Most High is stirring up the nations of the earth to pay Esau back for his evils. Okay? 15, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. So you're not going to be admired and idolized. Okay? You're not going to be respected and aided in the time of distress and time of calamity. The nations are going to spoil you. They're going to kick you while you're down. They're going to add insult to injury. They're going to look to make you naked and destitute because you have done evil upon the earth and wrought all manner of atrocities in all the nations of the earth. And now the nations are going to get their licks in. They're going to get their revenge on you. You're going to be small and despised in their eyes. China not looking at you like a superpower. Russia ain't looking at you like a superpower. These other nations of the earth are not looking at Esau, the daughter of Babylon, like a superpower. They're looking at you like you washed up. And it's time for us to put our foot in your behind. Okay? 16, thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Think about what was said in the book of Job. Think about again the topic, the traits of Esau, process of elimination. Those that dwell in the clefts of the rock, that dwell up high, in high altitudes, they enjoy that. They make that their refuge. Your terribleness has deceived you. Remember, Esau was a fierce man, a man of violence, a man of the field, a man of the sword, a man of war. And you've let your reputation go to your head. You thought you couldn't be beat. You thought you were invincible, that no man can stand. Who can make war with the beast? Who can make war with that dragon? You got yourself convinced you can't lose. You got another thing coming, Esau. That holdest the height of the hill. Though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh. So you make your nest way up in the top summits of the mountains. I will bring you down to the ground and make you nothing. You have boasted in your terribleness. You have boasted in your wealth. You have boasted in your power, in your military acumen to conquer nations. You have boasted in these things, but I'm going to bring you down. The eagle is a predator bird. I've seen different animal programs where it talks about the sight of an eagle or a hawk, which is similar to eagle, in that from up high, from high altitudes, they can see with perfect vision. Their vision is much better than 20/20. They can be flying at high altitudes and at top speeds and see a small mouse hundreds of feet below them and spot them and come down with exact precision and accuracy and be able to catch their prey. That's Esau.
Or fish in water.
Fish in water, yeah, anything like that. Okay? 17, also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith Yahweh. No man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. So utterly desolate. That hasn't happened in history, so it's something that is prophetic that shall happen in the times to come. Esau and the land of Edom shall be laid waste, and no man shall dwell therein. Okay? Now we're going to go to Obadiah. It's going to be a last one, and we'll finish it tomorrow. So we're going to go to Obadiah and read verses 1 through 5. Can you go there for me, Gail? Obadiah verses 1 through 5. Now remember again what I said in Jeremiah 49 in verse 9. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. Watch how these same words are going to be uttered in the book of Obadiah. So the Most High is trying to send a message to these hard-headed, cursed, wicked people. Go on.
Obadiah, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith King Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen.
The same things there are in the book of Jeremiah as well. Verse 14, I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to battle. So the prophet is reciting the other prophet. Go on.
Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
Salakia, the same things that Jeremiah said. So Jeremiah gave a glimpse, but Obadiah is now going into greater detail as to the judgment that shall fall upon the children of Esau. Go on.
The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the great gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
So you have done so wickedly to all the nations of the earth. Now the nations are getting their revenge, and they're not going to leave nothing to your name. They're going to make you totally waste. Okay? So we're going to leave it right there, and we're going to pick up tomorrow and continue with the traits of Esau, process of elimination. We're bringing out a lot of precepts. It's time for you to connect the dots and determine who the children of Esau are. Shalom.
Shalom. Father.